Hi, are you tired of following pita bread recipes that always fail? If so, this video is for you. I'm going to begin by weighing my sugar and my milk in the same container and then taking it to the microwave to warm it up. Getting the milk warm will speed up the fermentation of the bread dough. While the milk is warming up, I'm going to weigh my dry ingredients beginning with the salt, because it's a lot more efficient to weigh everything in ascending order. To the salt I'm adding all-purpose flour, and then I'm going to mix these two ingredients together with a spoon. This will aerate and oxygenate the flour, which will also help to ensure a more successful fermentation. I'm adding extra virgin olive oil, although you can use a neutral flavor oil as well. Now it's time to take the milk out of the microwave, mix to dissolve the sugar, and add it into the well. Now I'm using fresh yeast here, and I do recommend that you do too, because it gives you a high quality bread, but you can use dry instant yeast as well, and you would add it in the same way. So with all the ingredients in the bowl, I'm going to begin by mixing them with a spoon. This will hydrate the flour more than anything. After an initial mixing, I'm squeezing the dough to amalgamate all the ingredients before I start to actually knead it. I'm transferring the dough onto the counter without adding any additional flour. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make when kneading bread doughs in general is to add flour to the surface. That will interfere with the formula's proportions and will inevitably give you a bread that wasn't necessarily intended by the recipe's author. I think I kneaded this dough for approximately 4 minutes, but that will depend on how you do it. The way that I knead most types of dough is by folding it onto itself and rotating 45 degrees. It's a very simple yet effective kneading technique that has served me well. After kneading the dough, I will right away divide it into 12 equal pieces of about 70 grams. But you can allow it to bulk ferment, degas it, and then proceed from there as I'm doing in the video. I think 12 is a good number of pita breads to get out of this recipe, but if you want 8 large ones, in the description you will find the weight of each dough piece. I like to divide all the dough and then shape the little balls, as I find it more efficient that way. Incidentally, the shaping is not only for aesthetic reasons. By stretching the outer skin of the dough balls, we are giving them strength. A good shaping will also help you to get a nice round pita. Instead of using plastic wrap, I like to spritz the dough balls with water and then cover them with a clean kitchen towel. I will leave them alone to ferment until they double in size. And now there's no escaping, I have to wash the dishes. Before I continue, I will separate 2 plates, one empty and another one with a kitchen towel on it. These will be important in the next phase. Let's see if our buns are relaxed. If you poke the dough balls and they offer no resistance, being swollen, they're ready to go. Now, as we proceed to roll the pitas out, now is the time to use bench flour. I start by squishing the dough balls to get a primitive disc that I will then roll out with a rolling pin. The technique to roll out a consistent round shape is to roll from the middle outwards and to rotate it 45 degrees. After rolling, I'm going to transfer each pita disc onto that empty plate and repeat with the other ones, piling one on top of each other. Since I'm going to show you 2 ways of cooking these pitas, I'll only roll out half of them. When you're done rolling them, it's important to turn the pile over so that the first one that was rolled is the first one to be cooked. I'm gonna cook them on a hot but not smoking cast iron skillet, turning each pita every 15 seconds or so and lightly pressing them with a spatula. The hot surface seals the outside of the bread, and while the inside cooks, it releases steam, which is trapped by the outside layer, making them inflate. That's all there is to get your pita bread to balloon. Don't be tempted to leave them too much on the skillet to get a brown color, because you may likely end up with a dry pita. After inflation, remove them from the heat and transfer them to the plate with a cloth and keep them covered. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, in the description of this video you'll find a tip on what to do instead. For the rest of them, I'll simply use coarse cornmeal and roll the dough out with my hands and transfer them onto a baking tray, which is neither hot nor greased. You don't need to preheat the tray at all. And I'm going to bake them on a very hot oven for about 3 to 5 minutes or until they inflate. As before, don't be tempted to allow them to brown or they will be dry. I don't think I need to tell you how delicious and versatile pita breads are, so I'll simply let you watch me eat the fruit of my labor. In the description of this video you will find a list of ingredients as well as some other tips and tricks to always be successful in your pita bread baking. So anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.